The reality you're living isn't real. What you, me, or anyone considers reality is merely just an interpretation of stimuli to our limited senses. We live in a three-dimensional world, and scientists who are a hell of a lot smarter than me are certain there are many more dimensions that we just can't fathom. Just think about that one point for a second. Everything that we think is the real world is merely what we can perceive in our limited three dimensions. On top of that, we're constricted by the few senses we possess. A simpler way of wrapping your head around this is to imagine losing one or two of your sensory abilities. Unfortunately, some people don't have the luxury of sight or hearing, but for those of us that do, try to imagine being born without sight. How differently would you interpret the world? Now think about animals that have a great number of senses beyond that which humans are capable of. Don't you think their version of reality is vastly different to ours? Imagine if we had those abilities. Would our version of reality still be the same? So from the moment we're born, we're reliant on the things we see, hear, taste and touch to interpret the environment we're raised in. These experiences then shape our reality. Do you think people born and raised in New York will have the same idea of reality as natives still living in a rainforest? This sounds obvious and extreme, but if we filter this down to smaller demographics, the fact still remains. Think about it. Two siblings born into the same family with very comparable genetics and upbringings can turn out to be completely different people with a vastly different outlook of the world. So if we take this further, what we think of reality is merely our simple mind interpreting data from all around us to help us navigate the world we live in. And once you let your emotions take over, suddenly you forget all this. You end up running on autopilot, plugged into this matrix, being pulled this way and that, influenced by friends, family and everything around you. This is now amplified drastically because we're so connected to stimuli from all over the world via the devices we use and the content we consume. My point is, most of us are just hamsters on a wheel, being influenced, following orders and trying desperately to fit into the society and groups around us. But if you zoom out and realise that what you believe to be real or important isn't actually the one truth, you can start to let go of the things bothering you, causing you grief, worry and regret. You can come to realise how insignificant everything is, and once you do that, you can choose to live life on your terms. Do you really want to get wrapped up in the day-to-day bullshit at work, on the news, or from the people around you? Or do you want to let things slide and only focus on what you really want? Now I know we can't just stop working or ignore rules and literally do whatever we want. There are too many systems in place and we do have to play the game to some extent. But that's just it. Look at life like a game. You may have to fit in and play by the rules, but you can choose which elements you want to focus on and which you see as meaningless. You're never going to be able to avoid negative behaviour or conflict around you, and in fact actively trying to avoid something will just result in you encountering even more of it. Instead, learn to react to things as you really want to, not by letting your emotions run on autopilot, but by consciously choosing to ignore that which you do not want and directing your attention on that which you do. If you can grasp a sense of just how little we really know about how the universe works and the endless possibilities of what we can't see, you can really put the daily bullshit into perspective. None of it really matters. You have the power to choose what you let aggravate you or control you. You may have to play the game, but you don't have to let it control how you think.